morning. Had to play this game because the way the ferry system worked out here. Kids can catch the ferry, get back to Juneau anyways. And then they'll, of course, have to go from Juneau back to Petersburg. Payne will jump for the Vikings, and looks like we're going to have Faberty jumping for the Glacier Bears. Just beginning, Glacier Bears are going to be going to our left to start with. The Vikings to our right. We're sitting up behind the Vikings bench here. Ball's up. Tap's going to be controlled by Davis for the Glacier Bears. He comes quick down. Luke Davis on the shot. A little too far off the iron. Rebound down to Krager. Bounces around, however, as Luke was left wide open all alone. Put up that three, but not able to get it. Glacier Bears come out and pressure immediately. And Durgan, now they drop back. Goes over to Skeek, far right-hand side. Gets it across the half-court line. I know the Vikings had trouble with that pressure last night, so I'm sure Coach Fossman is going to find out what kind of adjustments they made. Goes back into Payne, spin move, comes back out to Durkin. Looked at that three, didn't take it. There we go, comes back out. Coach Brock says, move the ball. They were just holding on to it there. Back to Wallace. Wallace will back it back out. Just beginning first quarter action here. No one scored in the ball game. Over to Durkin, over to Skeek. Back to Durkin. Three-pointer on the way, in and out, no. Bouncing around. Burham comes away with it for the Glacier Bears. Down to Mark Davis. Penetrates inside. Gives up his dribble. He'll come back out to Burham. Back out to Davis. That's Mark Davis. Mark will handle the ball a lot at the top for the Glacier Bears. Luke will play down low more often than Mark does. Back out to Krager. Back to Verham. Wanted the shot. Now he'll take it from the free throw line a little bit too strong. Rebound comes back down to Wallace for the Vikings, and they're quick up the court. Wallace looks, eyeballs it, wants to go inside. Had the opportunity. Durkin three-pointer, and he's got it. Thomas Durkin picked up a three, and actually Wallace had an easy lay-in out of it. And Coach Fossman jumps up right away. He wants to discuss something right off the bat. He usually does that quite often early in the ball game. If he sees something that he wants changed or something that they're not doing the way he talked about it in the locker room, he'll call a timeout real quick and go over it because it's something that's very important in the game. Wallace could have easily had a lay-in out of that one, but he elected to tip the ball off to Larson, who had a nice three out of it, but he did give up a pretty easy lay-in on that one as he cut across the lane. Vikings come out first. Now Glacier Bears, they'll get the ball on the far right-hand side. Burham will have it. Gets the ball into Krager. Krager handles the ball quite a bit for the Glacier Bears too. On the dribble left side. Looks for Faberty out at the three-point arc. Looks like we got Larson playing defense on him. Come back out to Faberty. Faberty goes left-hand side, man-to-man defense by the Vikings. They seem to prefer playing that. Very seldom do you see them in a zone. Comes back to Davis. Davis wants to go inside, back to Krager. Jumper from about 6, off the glass, and good. Carson Krager gets the first 2 points for the Glacier Bears. Man-to-man pressure again, full court, but the Vikings easily beat it this time. They come back down to the left side. Comes back over to Durkin. Over to Wallace. Wallace way out beyond the three-point arc. Glacier Bears. Man-to-man defense. Larson almost loses it, but gains control back again. Into the hands of Skeek. Over to Durkin. Durkin looks down inside. He's got cutters coming across the lane. Now they'll back it back out. Over to Skeek. Skeek takes that baseline. Going to be knocked out of bounds off of his foot. And goes out of bounds. So Glacier Bears have the ball, have an opportunity to take the lead, just beginning, of course, the first quarter action, 5:31 to go in this quarter. Krager, left-handed dribble down the center of the lane, stop, going to be whistled for the foul by Larson. It is going to be on Braden Larson. That'll be his first personal, first team foul. Krager likes that quick move down the lane with the left hand. He's pretty good at that, and he was able to draw the foul, and that's going to send Carson Krager to the free throw line. He's got the 2 points so far. First chance from the free throw line for the Glacier Bears, and it's good. Bounced around a few times, finally got it to go. That's his third point. Bouncing it again. 5:22 to go here in the first quarter. This one in and out, no. Rebound down to Skeek for the Vikings. Skeek up across the half-court line. Now he'll drop back, gives it over to Larson, far left-hand side. Davis comes out. And back out to the side to Payne, who picks it up all the way around to Durkin. Goes to Wallace on that baseline. Looking for Payne coming across. Not there, however. And so he'll bring it back out to Durkin. Durkin penetrates inside. Puts up the shot a little too strong. Ball bounces around. Ends up in the hands of Luke Davis. Luke looks up, wants to make the long cross-court pass. Tapped away, however. Goes back to Durkin, over to Wallace. Tapped out of his hands by Davis. So the ball quickly turnover both teams. Coming all the way down, up and in is Krieger. That's 5 for him. And looks like we're going to have the Lure checking off the bench real quick here. 4:30 to go here in the first quarter. Glaciers lead by 2, 5-3. Wallace with the dribble out at the top, wanted to go inside. Good defense, however, and they come back out. Long three by Durkin, up and in. Good defense by Faberty, just didn't let Wallace go down the lane. But he kicked it back out, and Durkin buried the three. Come back to Faberty, comes around, jumper from the free throw line, a little too strong, rebound down to Wallace. Wallace looks up, he's out ahead of everybody, but Glacier Bears hustle back nicely, so they'll cut it back off. Looking for Payne across the lane. Over to Larson, gets around the baseline, stop, puts up the shot, up and in. Larson gets his first 2 points, he had 6 last night. Get the ball back into Krieger. 8-5 now. Petersburg has a 3-point lead, but the Glacier Bears have the basketball. They come around. Krieger, shot in and out, no. Rebound down to Larson for the Vikings, and he'll quick bring it up the court. Goes to Durkin, gives a little head fake. Good defense by Krieger. They go to Payne, stops, puts up the shot. He's got it. Gunnar Payne picks up his first 2. He had 18 last night and 12 rebounds. Now we're going to take another timeout by the Glacier Bears. We'll see it's 10-5. It's going to be a 30-second timeout again. So he's talking to Faberty a little bit more about what's going on here. Glacier Bears, well, they put up, 6 shots so far. Got 2 of those to go. Vikings, man, they're back into the ball game again. 4 out of 6. So pretty good opportunity there for them. Okay, back out on the court. You could hear the buzzer in the background here. That was another 30-second timeout. Glacier Bears have 3 timeouts left. 3:15 to go here. First quarter action. I know Coach Brock, Rick's been talking about getting into the offense a little more, and that last time down they did because they were able to get the ball inside to Payne, fairly down low in the block. Okay, going to be Verham. He comes back out to Krieger. Krieger with the dribble. 5-point lead by the Vikings right now. They try to go back inside to Faberty, but he's not able to control it. That pass is down low. Larson coming all the way up and in. Nobody stopped him. He went right to the hoop and got the easy bucket out of it. So a 7-point lead now. Glacier Bears defensively kind of gave a lapse there and just allowed him to go down low. Krieger spinning around. He puts it up a little bit too short. Rebound comes back down to Larson for the Vikings, and he'll get it across the half-court line. Brings it out to Durkin. Durkin looks across, can't find anything now as they come back inside, as we have Bissett in the ball game for the Vikings as he came in. Also Lure coming off the bench for the Vikings. They go to Bissett, stops, kicks the ball around. He's trapped down low. Back to Lure. Durkin, 3-pointer on the way, not a little too strong. Luke Davis comes away with the rebound, and he'll bring it across. Goes to brother Mark Davis. Long 3, a little too long. But Krieger comes away with the rebound as he went high up over Bissett, was able to collect that up. 2 minutes to go here in this first quarter of play. Krieger back and forth. Nothing going here as he'll back it back out. Over to Faberty. Faberty tries to get around the screen over him. Back to Faberty again. Nothing going, however, as they come back to Faberty. 1:53 to go here. Davis penetrates inside, can't find anywhere to go. Comes back out to Faberty, way out at the 3-point arc. Krieger, left-handed dribble, stop, kicks it across. Checked, however, by Durkin, but Krieger's able to corral it again, and they come back out to Faberty. Good defense by the Vikings right now. Ball's on the floor. Kicks it back out, goes over to Larson. Larson looks, can't do anything, and he lost control of the ball and turns the ball back over. And we have Skeek coming into the ball game, Volk coming into the ball game. along with, I think it's Whitethorn. Yep, Whitethorn's also checking in for the Vikings right now. 1:20 to go here in the first quarter of play. Glacier Bears with the basketball. Goes to Krager. Spin move. Back to Verham. Aliside inside to Faberty. Puts it up, but up and in. Kirby Faberty gets good inside position off that low block. He plays inside or out, depending on what Coach Fossman wants, and can play both positions. Really does a nice job with both of them, so they got him on the inside now. Whitethorn with the ball. Over to Skeek. Skeet kicks it back inside to Wallace. Volk. Volk loses the ball. Glacier Bears end up with it over to Krager. Krager goes down inside. Stops, puts up the shot a little too strong. Rebound to Whitethorn. And out quickly up the court to Bissett. Stops, spins the ball back, gives it back out to Skeet. 35 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. Over to Lure. Wants the baseline. Good defense by Krager. He doesn't give it to him. They'll come back out to Volk all the way over to Skeet. Lure comes across, able to finally control it. Kicks it back to Skeek's hands. 24 seconds to go in the quarter. And they'll back it back out, get into the offense. Looking, try to go to Whitethorn, not there. Back to Volk, kicks the ball back over to Skeek. Skeek cuts through his Lure, stop, puts up the shot, rolls around, doesn't go. Ball's on the floor, who comes up with it? Finally Krager does with 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Krager hustles down. 2 seconds, long three-pointer on the way, and it's going to come up just a bit short. So we're going to finish this first quarter of play with the Haines Glacier Bears 7 and the Petersburg Vikings 12. We're going to turn it back to KFAK Studios for 1 minute. Petersburg 12, Haines 7. And welcome back to the Haines High Gymnasium. What do we got here for shooting percentages?
Haines is 3 for 11, 27%. Petersburg is 5 for 9, 56%.
All right, going to be Petersburg basketball on the far side of the court. They lead by 5, their ball. Back to Durkin. Back to Durkin is slowly up across the half court. We got Lure in there. We got Whitethorn still into the basketball game for the Vikings. And Skeek with the ball on the far side. Comes back out to Durkin. Three-pointer on the way. Bounces around and rolls around. That one was a slow motion version, and he's got 9 points of the 15 for the Vikings. Over to Krager. Krager stops. Alley-oops inside. He is considerably taller than anybody around him, as trying to guard him was Lure, which is, I would say, a good 6 or 8 inches shorter, and so Faberty gets the bucket out of it. I doubt that matchup's going to last too long here before they make a change in there, because Kirby's just too good down low. Faberty with the shot. He's got it. So he picks up his first one from the free throw line. That's 5 points in the ball game. Vikings lead by 5 now. Mark Davis picks him up at half-court line. Durkin comes around, goes to Skeek. Skeek looking inside. A lot of movement by the Vikings. Backs out to Durkin. Durkin goes around, puts it up, rolls around, doesn't go. Rebound fought for. We're going to have a tie up here. Going to be Glacier Bear basketball. That thing rolled all the way around the rim and finally just dipped out, but immediately getting tied up, and the ball goes on alternating possession back to the Glacier Bears. Looks like Payne's going to come off the bench now back into the ball game. He got into foul trouble last night early on, so probably Rick's just being a little more careful with him. Verham wanted that shot, stops, doesn't get it, comes back out to Hotch. Back three-pointer on the way by Davis. A little too strong, comes back out to Krager. Krager comes across to Faberty. He wanted the shot, back to Verham. Verham looks up, can't find anybody, however, and they'll bring it back out. Carson Krager comes around to Mark Davis. Davis looks, goes down the center lane, kicks the ball back out to Krager, who comes with it, Comes back inside over to Faberty, up and in. So Faberty got the bucket and drew the foul, but that was really set up nicely by a nice pass. The foul's going to be on 35. That'll be Wallace, his first personal foul. Looks like Larson's coming into the ball game. Whitethorn's coming out. Larson's coming into the game. And Lure's going to come out of the game. Yeah, they did a nice job there drawing the defense to him, gave him a little bounce pass, and Faberty Kirby was able to get it. This one's on its way, and he's got it. So he picks up, that's 2 now that he's taken advantage of down below there, a basket and a free throw. 2-point lead by the Vikings now. They have the basketball. Over to Wallace, looks inside for Payne. Payne had his hand up, wasn't able to get the ball, however, out as the Glacier Bears are playing good tight man-to-man defense. Wallace comes down inside. Skeek stops, kicks the ball out to Durkin. Durkin comes up and in. He is quick, and he went right there, and that's 11 for him as he got around his man and went up and got the easy bucket off the baseline. Alley-oop inside to Faberty. Faberty brings the ball back out. Now he'll go over to Krager. Krager takes the left-handed dribble, comes around looking for Faberty down low. Going to be a whistle on it as Wallace stepped around. Got his hand, and it is going to be on Wallace. And that's the case. That's his second. So quickly off the bench is Volk coming in. I suspect Wallace is coming out. Yes, he is. Can't afford to pick up any more fouls down low like that, but they're going to have to work hard because that's where the Glacier Bears are going now, is to Faberty. Over to Hotch. Hotch tries down the center lane, kicks the ball back out to Krager. He penetrates inside, back out to Davis, over to Krager. Tries to get the baseline. They go to Faberty down low. Nothing going back to Krager. Three-pointer on the way. Rebound comes down. Hands of Skeek. Skeek with the dribble on the left-hand side. He's quick, goes all the way up and in. Brennan Skeek picks up his first 2 points of the ball game. That's 2 for him, and looks like we're going to have a quick timeout here. Let's see what it's going to be here. It is going to be a 30-second timeout. It looked like Larson kind of got bumped there down low, so he's going to come out for a second here. We'll see if they make the change here. 19-13, the Vikings. Glacier Bears got it within 2, and then poof, all of a sudden the Vikings score 2 quick buckets. And, they can do that. I know that Durkin and Larson both are really quick, but Skeek surprised everyone there. He just went zipping right down through everybody and got the easy bucket out of it. So 19-13, second quarter action, 5:24 to go here in the first half. All right, going to be the Glacier Bear basketball. And we did make a substitution. Lower coming into the ball game for Larson right now. Krager comes left-hand side to Faberty. Three-pointer on the way, a little bit too strong. Lower comes away with it, and he gets the board. Rebound comes back down to Skeek. All the way over to Durkin, looking inside for Volk. Can't find him, however, and they'll come back out. Stolen away on the pass. Davis hustles down. Ball's knocked away. Going to be a foul. And let's see where the foul is going to come. 5 minutes to go. Okay, 5 minutes. Fouls on 1-0 Black. That'll be Skeek, his first personal foul. 5 team fouls now. 5 team fouls on the Petersburg Vikings. At the line is Davis. This one's on its way. Good. So Mark Davis picks up 1 from there. 1 for 1 from the free throw. And Mark was 1 for 2 last night. 14 points in the game. Second shot up on its way. It's good. So he picks up 2 from there. Skeek with the ball on the far side. 4-point lead by the Vikings right now as we're midway into the second quarter of play here. Calling out play number 2. They go to Volk. Volk comes across. Over to Lure. Lure stops. Oh, they had Volk all alone in there. Lots of pressure being applied by Durkin. Durkin comes up, puts it off the glass. Rebound comes down to Krager. Krager's on the hustle down. Doesn't go. Stop. Puts up the shot. Going to be a foul on it. Let's see what it's going to be. Foul's on number 11. That'll be Durkin as Krager pushed hard to the hoop. And that'll send Carson Krager to the free throw line. 5 points, 1 for 2. And we'll have another sub. Bissett's going to come off the bench for the Vikings. Rolls around. Krager can't get that one to go. So we do have Bissett coming in. And looks like we're going to take Durkin out of the ball game for a bit. Krager with the ball on its way in and out. No, rebound back down to Skeek for the Vikings, and he'll handle it all the way down across the half-court line. They look for Lure, coming back out to Bissett. They've pretty much taken Payne out of the ball game, doing a lot better defensively against him this morning anyway. Ball bounces around on the floor. Looks like Davis is going to come up with it. He has a heads up, stops, picks the ball back out. Ball's knocked around. Lure's going to pick it up. And now they're over to the side here. Comes back outside. Ball comes into the hands of Skeek. Over to Bissett. Over to Lure. He backs it out. Hotch puts a little bit of pressure on. Lure gives up his dribble. Now they come back out to Volk. Way beyond the three-point arc, looking for Payne. Comes inside. Almost knocked away. Ball's on the floor. Rolling around. Still nobody has control of it. Finally comes up with his Skeek. He pushes it down. Comes back out to Lure. 3:35 to go here in the first half of play. Skeek down low on the baseline. Kicking it over, nothing going. Looks like we're going to have a sub coming into the bay. Michael Durkin's going to check into the next opportunity. Skeek, shots on the way in and out. No, rebound bounces around. Lure comes up with it. Ball goes off of him and out of bounds here. So we do have Michael Durkin coming into the ball game. We have David Strong checking into the game for the Glacier Bears. Still a Viking lead, 19-15. Over to Krager. Krager takes the left-handed dribble down the lane. Nobody picks him up, puts it 2 yards off the glass, rebound down to Volk. Now there's going to be a whistle on it. Let's see where it's going to be. It's going to be on Wesley. That'll be his first personal foul. Glacier Bears going to come out with full court pressure again, looks like. Coming back out, they get it into Skeek. Everybody backs away. Skeek comes down across the half-court line. On the dribble there. Comes out to Michael Durkin. He looks inside for Payne. Can't get it there. Good defense by the Glacier Bears, not allowing that to happen. Over to Payne this time, up and in. As Gunnar Payne came off that backside screen and so able to get the easy hoop out of it. 7-point lead now by the Vikings. 2:40 to go here in the first half. Krager with the ball out at the top. Goes to Luke Davis. Back out to Strong. Strong gives up his dribble, goes to Faberty. Faberty being guarded by Volk. Faberty goes down the lane, up and in. Cody Faberty picks up 10. Glacier Bears within 4 again. Skeek will get it across, goes across to the left-hand side to Michael Durkin. Out to the top to Volk. Comes over to Skeek, looking for Payne coming across. Too much traffic in there. Comes back to Bissett. Over to Volk, up and in. He just kept coming around the corner and nobody picked him up, and he got the easy bucket out of it. That was a nice play by him as he just kept coming and nobody stopped him. He had a little jumper from about 2 feet out. Back out to Krager. Looks like we're going to have Whitethorn coming in the next chance. Krager stops, wants to come back out to Verham. Does. Back to Strong. Strong goes down the lane, puts up the shot. Nobody controls it. Finally, Wesley Verham comes up with it. Back to Faberty, he puts up the shot a little too strong, and Bissett comes away with it for the Vikings with 1:30 to go here in the first half. Bissett goes left-hand side, looking for Payne down low. Back to Volk. Back out to Skeek. Coming across is Payne. He gets the ball knocked out of his hands. Back out to the hands of Krager. He kicks the ball across and way over the head of Luke Davis. Goes out of bounds. And Whitethorn's going to come into the ball game. Who's coming out? Looks like Payne will come out here at the 1:12 mark. Glacier Bears with the basketball. Vikings on defense here. They try to go inside. Alley-oop. Finally, Strong comes away with the ball for the Things, and now he dribbles around off of Michael Durkin's foot and out of bounds. So it's going to still be Glacier Bear basketball on the far side of the court. 23-17. Glacier Bears down by 6. And over to Faberty takes the dribble. Michael Volk puts some pressure on him over to Luke Davis, working that right-hand side. Faberty three-pointer on the way. Good. Ruby Faberty picks up his 13th point. He has 13 of the 20 points that the Glacier Bears have. Skeek hustling down. More than dribble. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Goes over to Michael Durkin. Back out. Now they come out to Whitethorn out at the top. Gives up his dribble. Finding, all alone that time was Volk. Michael Durkin puts up the shot a little bit too strong. Rebound down to Burham. Glacier Bears all the way down court. Ball's too high and off the hands of Faberty and out of bounds. So the Vikings are going to get the basketball back before the half. Let's see if the Vikings work it down for that last shot. Coach Brock calling out play number 4, so we'll see if they can run it here. They come back out to the top, 14 seconds. Down to Skeek, down to 10 seconds to go. Over to Volk. Volk back to Skeek. Skeek wants to go down the lane. Good defense by the Glacier Bears. They cut it off. Back to Bissett. Stops, puts it up, rolls around. No, not going to go. We're going to finish this first half of play with the Haines Glacier Bears coming away with 20 points. The Petersburg Vikings with 23 points. And we're going to turn it back to KFSK Studios for about 9 minutes. Haines 20, Petersburg 23, back in 9 minutes.
That one play right here, all 3 of the Haines guys backing away. Yeah. Well, only 1 foul on Haines. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, when they go on the road, that can't happen. Yeah. That won't happen.
4 for 9, 7 for 20. That's not bad. 7 for 20.
Now welcome to the Haines High Gymnasium here. Petersburg 23, Haines 20. We've got a second half of action going here. The Petersburg girls defeated the Haines girls by a score of 56-24 this morning. Also winning last night by a score of 64-39. Petersburg boys took away a win last night, 66-58. We expected a close game today, and that's exactly what we've got here. We have I'll run down a little bit of scoring here. Durkin has 11 points so far in the ball game. Larson 4 by Payne, 2 by Skeek, 2 by Volk, and Wallace has yet to get on the book for the Petersburg Vikings. For the Haines Glacier Bears, Faverty moving down low on the block has 13 points. Krager picked up 5 points, 2 points by Davis. Rounds out the scoring for the Haines Glacier Bears. It's going to be Petersburg basketball to start this second half. So they're ready to go, stepping out here now. Glacier Bears man-to-man defense. Over to Skeek. Lure's going to be starting here, and looks like Larson's going to be on the bench here for a bit. Comes back out to the side. Skeek kicks the ball back out, goes to Durkin. Durkin with a little bit of pressure from Mark Davis. Skeek breaks inside. Over to Durkin. Durkin looks inside for Payne. Can't get it to him. Back to Skeek. Down the lane, up and in. Skeek just nice another bucket. Put up the little left-handed shot. Got it to go. Glacier Bears back on offense now. Davis comes down right inside. Nothing going as they go to Strong. He'll spin the ball back. Over to Davis. Looking. Tries to pin it inside. Cut off nicely by Payne, however. And they come back out to Krager. Krager gives up his dribble. Back out. Petersburg man-to-man defense. Always a big, strong defense. Durkin almost got the steal over there in that far corner. Just beginning third quarter action here. Lots of basketball yet to play. Glacier Bears deep in their left-hand side. Over to Verham. He alley-oops inside to Faverty. Puts it up too hard, but being able to get the ball out of there, as Faverty had the easiest bucket he's probably had all night, and he missed it. Comes back out, circling, goes into Lure, down the lane, stops, puts up the shot, going to draw the foul on Strong. He had the right-handed shot, elected to try to go left, but able to draw the foul on David Strong. That'll be his first personal foul. First team foul on the Glacier Bears. Lure at the line is yet to score in the ball game. This one's on its way. Good. Boy, nothing but net on that one, as he got that one to drop, and that's his first point of the ball game. Extends the lead back to 6 now for the Vikings. He'll bounce it a couple more times. Looking. This one's on its way, and it is also good. So he picks up 2 from the free throw line. Vikings doing a nice job. They were 9 for 12 last night. Davis, right-hand side to Strong. He goes down to Faverty. Faverty spin move. Kicks it back over to Wesley Verham. Up and in. Wesley ended up with the basketball down at his feet. When he turned around, there was nothing between him and the basket. He got the easy bucket out of it. Comes back out to Skeek. Skeek goes left-hand side to Wallace. Wallace wants to go down the lane. Gives it up, however. Goes to Durkin all the way over to Skeek. He backs up, wanted to 3, changed his mind, however. Lure moves the ball around nicely. They go all the way to Payne. Spin move. Ball's on the floor. Where does it go here? It's going to go to the Vikings. Looks like Whitethorn's going to come off the bench. Payne's going to come out of the game here just for a second here. All right. Gets the ball back into Whitethorn. Over to Lure. All the way around to Skeek. Baseline to Durkin. They go inside to Wallace. He wants the shot. Got it a little too hard off the glass. Rebound up and in by Durkin as he just caught the ball in the air and kept right on going and got it off the glass and got it to go. Back to Davis for the Glacier Bears, and they tapped out of bounds. It's going to be Glacier Bear basketball. Now they finally indicate. No, it's going to be. All right, it is going to be Petersburg basketball. Goes over to Skeek. Skeek's on the dribble. Skeek, he'll get it across the half-court line. Goes right inside to Durkin. He looks inside for White, thrown over to Wallace. Wallace will back the dribble back out. Nothing going, however, as they come back outside to Lure. And looking up is Durkin. He goes down the lane, up and in. So Durkin just having a great game again. These 15 points, and he had 18 last night. Pretty much can go to the hoop whenever he wants. They try to go back inside, knocked out of bounds as they try to go to Faberty down low. As they come down low, they're calling out here. Let's see who's coming off the bench here. Looks like we're going to have a sub here shortly into the ball game. Glacier Bears right-hand side, looking alley-oops into Strong. Strong comes about with the dribble. He'll go to Faberty, who's way beyond the arc. Looks like Coach Fossman wants to take a timeout here. Let's see what it's going to be here. Looks like he's going to take a full timeout, so we're going to turn it back to KFSK Studios there with Petersburg 31, Haines 22, back in 1 minute. Welcome back to the Haines High Gymnasium here. Petersburg out of the timeout. Haines Glacier Bears out of the timeout. Going to be Glacier Bear basketball on the far side of the court here. They'll set it up. Looks like Burham in there. Oh, he got coming off the bench is Luke Davis during that timeout. So Luke is in and Mark is out. Luke is a freshman, but he does a nice job handling the ball. Really plays good defense. Back out to Krager at the top. Lure puts some pressure on. Back over to Davis. Looking outside over to Strong. Strong backs it away a little bit. Tried to go inside. We've got Faberty out at the top. Wallace puts some pressure on. Faberty takes the dribble across. Almost only jumper from Faberty. He's got it. Kobe Faberty picks up his 15th point. Coach Broxhauer, there's no reason to go for that steal. Gives it too easy a shot here. You don't have a lot of help down low. All right, we have Larson coming back off the bench now. Alley-oop inside to Durkin. Up, nope, missed the shot. Krager down with the rebound for the Glacier Bears. Looking up the court, changes his mind, however, as he tries to go to Faberty down low. Alley-oop inside, Faberty down underneath. Back out to Strong. Strong up and in. David Strong, that's his first 2 points of the game. He didn't get into the ball game last night, but he's playing today. 4 minutes to go here. Looks like Payne's going to come off the bench now for the Vikings. Next chance. Bissett also coming off the bench, and Larson coming off the bench for the Vikings. 3:59 to go here in the third quarter. Over to Wallace. Back out. 3-pointed by Durkin. It's good. Durkin buries that one, so Thomas has 18 points. That's what he had last night. Goes left-hand side. He steps across, almost makes the steal, but it goes out of bounds. Vikings do all the subbing here now. Glacier Bears with the ball, far side. Goes back out to Luke Davis. Davis goes to Krager in that left-hand corner. Verheim comes out to set the screens, but Krager doesn't use it. Now they come back to Verheim. And they're just dropping way back on him as they think he's probably not going to be a threat. Strong tries to go inside, and now there's going to be a whistle on it. Reaching around, and for the foul is number 1. That'll be Larson. That'll be his second personal foul. And now Coach Brock wants to take a 30-second timeout here to talk about that. Actually, the Vikings have made two pretty much mental mistakes here in the last three minutes here, and Coach Brock's talking about that particular one down there. Shooting percentages, what do we have in that first half of play, Spencer?
7 for 20 for Haines is 35%, and then Petersburg is 10 for 18, 56%.
All right, well, good percentages still anyway. Petersburg doing a nice job with it. And Glacier Bears, like I say, Coach Brock is probably discussing that with him a little bit about the mistakes down low. I know Wallace trying to go for that steal, giving an easy bucket to Faberty on there, and of course reaching around that time. No chance to even get the ball, but Larson is called for the foul. One team foul on each team here. Kreger with the basketball, left-hand side. Alley-oops all the way to Faberty. Faberty's out there, screen set by Verham. Picked up nicely by Payne, though, however, and they do a good job of double teaming Faberty down low. Back three-pointer on the way by Faberty, off around. Rebound comes down to Durkin for the Vikings, and he's on the dribble. He'll bring the ball all the way across to Larson. Larson looks up for Payne, can't get it to him, though, however, comes back out to Larson. He missed the shot, however, as they had an easy bucket out of it. As he came down low, that would have been an easy bucket there for the Vikings. Back to Faberty. Faberty comes over to Davis. Reverse back around to Strong. Strong out the dribble at the top. A lot of screening doing for Faberty to try to get him open. Comes back out, almost made the steal, however, was Durkin. As they double team Faberty over there, they go to Strong along the baseline. Nothing going over to Davis. Back out to Kreger. Patience on the defense and patience on the offense for both teams. Kreger comes back out, goes over to Verham, holds the ball high over his head, finds Faberty coming down the lane, puts it up and in. Kirby Faberty's got 17 now. He came across the lane and got the nice little pass and was able to get the easy bucket out of it. Durkin all the way down to Larson, back to Durkin, over to Bissett, all the way over to Skeek. Skeek looks inside for Payne coming across, not able to get Durkin. Three-pointer on the way, looks good, and is Thomas Durkin with 21 points. He had 18 last night. 37-28's the score now. 1:51 to go here in the third quarter. Down to Strong. They go down to Faberty. Faberty wanted to come back out. Over to Strong. Come back inside. Going to be a whistle on it. Not able to get there. Strong got around him. Fouls on number 11. That'll be Durkin, and that'll be his third personal foul, so he's going to come out of the ball game real quick. Skeek also coming out of the game here. Durkin can't afford to pick up that fourth foul, as he's been a lot of their offense so far in this one. Mark Davis checks in, and he gets a three. Comes off the bench and buries a three right away, and that's 5 for him. Glacier Bears now within 6. They come back out to Wallace. Wallace on the dribble across. Reverses back, gets it over to Larson. They get it across the half-court line. And they'll run their offense now. They go right-hand side to Bissett. He looks inside for Payne. Not going, back to Brewer. They get it into Payne this time. Back over to Larson. Three-pointer on the way. It's good. Aiden Larson picks up 3, and that's 7 for him. 1 minute to go here in the third quarter of play. Luke Davis with the ball. They want to go back inside to Faberty. Spin move, shot, good. He's got it. Hard to stop him on that one. That's 19 points for him. Back out to Lure. Lure's on the dribble. He'll get it across. Goes to Larson across the half-court line. 45 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Back out to Wallace. Wallace spin move. Kicks it back out to Bissett. Over to Lure. Looking inside for Payne. Not however getting it there. They'll come back out to Wallace. Wallace wants to go down the lane. Kicks it out to Lure. Lure's down under. Puts it up too strong. Rebound down to Wallace. Spin move. Puts it up. And he's a little too strong. Kreger comes away with the rebound for the Glacier Bears. Good opportunity by the Vikings. Just not able to get it. Now there's going to be a foul on it. As they come down, force the shot up. Going to be a foul, and the basket's going to count. So the bucket counts. And that was easily put up by Kreger, and he's got 7 points, and now he's going to the free throw line. And Bissett is going to pick up the foul. Okay. Shots on its way. little bit short. Ball comes down in the hands of Wallace. So Krager missed another one there. He's struggling from the free throw line. Into Payne, up and in. Easy bucket that time as there was a defensive lapse by the Glacier Bears. Down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And penetrating inside, forcing up the shot was Davis. And we're going to end this third quarter of play with the Haines Glacier Bears 35 points. The Petersburg Vikings 42 points. We're going to turn it back to KFSK Studios for 1 minute. Petersburg 42, Haines 35. Now, welcome back to the Haines High Gymnasium. We're going down to the wire here as we have got a few fouls here. Durkin is still sitting on the bench with those 3 personal fouls, so he had to come out of the ball game here. Glacier Bears are going to have the basketball to start this fourth quarter of play. And gets it into Mark Davis. Mark will come on the dribble. Looks like Volk's going to come in at the next chance here. We'll see. Mark works inside. Over to Krager. Lure puts some pressure on. Krager comes around. Can't do anything with it. Back to Luke Davis. Over to brother Mark. Mark looks inside. Looking with the dribble. Gets around his man. Stop John from about 6. Rolls around. Bounces. He gets his own rebound back as that bounced up there 2 or 3 times. But Mark was able to come up with that board. Back out to Faverty. Faverty out at the top. Behind the back dribble. He'll bring it back out now, go right hand side to Luke Davis. Luke comes across, kicks the ball back out to brother Mark, way out at the arc. Skeek puts some pressure on. Stopping with the dribble, looking inside. Pretty much double teaming Faverty down low. I know Larson's putting a lot of pressure on him down there not to get it. Fronting him a lot, keeping the ball away from him. Now Faverty gets it, long 3 on the way, and it's good. Faverty picks up 3, and he's got 22 points in the ball game. 6:58 to go, 38-42. Kicks the ball back, gets it into Larson, over to Skeek. Skeek's on the dribble, hustling down. Comes back, out to the top, reverses it back over to Larson. Looking, comes back out to Wallace. Wallace looks inside for Payne, not there however. And they come back outside, want to penetrate inside to Skeek. Wallace, jumper from about 6, a little bit too strong. Rebound down to Burham for the Glacier Bears. 6:30 to go in the basketball game. Volk coming off the bench now for the Vikings. Back to Faverty. Faverty takes 2 or 3 dribbles, looks inside, back to Davis. 3-pointer on the way, bounces around. Rebound down to Burham, goes out of bounds, not able to control it. Also coming off the bench will be Durkin. He'll check in. Who's coming out? Payne's coming out, and we have Larson coming out of the ball game right now. 42-38. Vikings with the basketball. Gets the ball back into Skeek. Skeek hustles up across the half-court line. Stops, kicks the ball back over to Lure. He spins it around back to Durkin. 3-pointer on the way. A little too strong. Rebound down to Krager. Krager gets it off to... And now Durkin's going to be whistled for the foul. And yes, it is going to be on Durkin, and that'll be his 4th personal foul. Now we've got a substitution. Durkin's going to have to come out of the ball game. The set's going to come into the ball game. And able to do there, and Durkin's going to have to come out of the game. 6 minutes to go. Krager with the basketball. Glacier Bears down by 4. Krager goes to Mark Davis over to Luke. Luke on that far right-hand wing. Looking outside, Skeek's got the hand up, over to Krager. They go to Faverty, 3-pointer on the way, good! Well, Faverty picks up his 25th point, and now the Glacier Bears are only down by 1, but the Vikings have the basketball. They go to Skeek. Skeek gets it across the half-court line. Kicks the ball out to Wallace. Wallace is going to be whistled for the travel. Now we're going to have a timeout here. Let's see, they haven't indicated what it's going to be yet for sure, so we'll see. All right, there is a timeout, and we don't know what it is yet, whether it's going to be a full timeout or a 30-second. It is going to be a full timeout, so with that, the Petersburg Vikings 42 points, the Haines Glacier Bears 41. We'll turn it back to KFSK for 1 minute. Back in 1 minute.
I love him.
This is a big factor. Durkin having 4 fouls. This is a big one.
Yeah.
All right, it certainly is anyway as we go up and down the court here. Both teams playing really hard man-to-man defense here. Offensively, they're taking their time working it around. Well, we know that the Glacier Bears are trying to work through Kirby Faverty, and he's got the 25 points, doing a nice job moving around, but they've been fronting him some and double teaming down low. On the other hand, Durkin come out, and he's firing up. He's got 21 points. Payne is the one who has got to get himself more into the ball game, but Wallace is yet to score. Alley-oop inside, and there's going to be a whistle right away, and it's going to be on Wallace as they went right straight to Kirby Faverty again down low, trying to get that foul, and that's his 3rd personal foul. All right, going to be Glacier Bear basketball under their hoop. Looking, finally looking, still can't get it in now, gets to Davis. Davis up and in. Mark Davis, Glacier Bears have the lead, 43-41, with 5:20 to go in the ball game. 43-42, excuse me. And now they're back out to Lure. Lure goes over to the set, kicks the ball back around to Skeek. He looks inside. Look at Volk cutting across the lane. Nothing going, however, as they come back outside to Skeek. Goes back out to Wallace. Wallace takes the dribble. Nothing going. Reback. Shot by Skeek. In and out. No. Rebound fought for. Burham comes away with it. Oh, that was a nice shot. Just wasn't able to go. Durkin's coming off the bench now. Goes back to Faverty. Wanted the shot. Back to Davis. Davis wants to go inside. Cut off nicely. Over to Luke. Davis back to Fink. They come back inside. Now we're going to have a play. And the foul's going to be on Skeek. 1-0 Black. And that's the case. Skeek picks up his 2nd personal foul. Down low here comes Krager. Krager gets the ball back into Faverty. He forces up the 3, a little bit too strong. Ball bouncing around, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Petersburg basketball. Be a 1-and-1 opportunity now for the Haines Glacier Bears on the next foul by the Petersburg Vikings. They have 16 fouls. Comes back out to Durkin. Durkin goes with the dribble, calling out the play. Looking inside, breaks down the lane, over to Volk. Volk gives it ball back into the hands of Durkin. Durkin wanted the 3, back to Larson. Over to Skeek. Skeek goes inside to Volk, stops, puts up the shot, up and in. Mark Volk gets good down low position and gets the bucket out of it. Petersburg leads 44-43. Lure coming off the bench for the Vikings. Back to Luke Davis, back to Mark Davis. Down low, coming across. Nothing going, however, as they go to Faverty again, way beyond the arc. He alley-oops inside to Burham, up and in. Wesley Burham picks up 2. Payne off the bench now. And we're going to take another timeout by the Haines Glacier Bears. And the Glacier Bears lead by a score of 45-44. It's going to be a full timeout. So we'll turn it back to KFSK Studios for 1 minute. Haines Glacier Bears 45, Petersburg 44. Welcome back to the Haines High Gymnasium here. Haines 45, Petersburg 44. Glacier Bears full court man-to-man pressure here. That caused a lot of problems last night for the Vikings, but they're able to handle it this time as they'll have the basketball down by 1. A lot of man-to-man defense being played by both teams here as they're working hard. Over to Wallace. Wallace kicks the ball back out to Larson. Back to Lure. Over to Wallace. Looking inside. Durkin goes down the lane. He'll kick it back out. Goes over to Larson. Stops. Puts it up and in. As Lyman Larson got on the inside of his man and got the easy hoop out of it. 3:15 to go in the basketball game. Out to the top is Davis. He goes right-hand side to Faberty. Set the screen by Luke Davis, almost stolen away by the Vikings as Faberty swings around, stops. Jumper from about 6, partially checked. Payne comes down with it. Okay, we'll go over to the right side to Wallace. Wallace comes out. Glacier Bears down by 1, but the Vikings have the basketball. Over to Lure. Over to Wallace. On the dribble, wants to beat his man. Faberty doesn't let him get to the lane, though. Comes back out to Durkin. Durkin comes back. He'll back it up. 2 timeouts for the Petersburg Vikings, 1 timeout. Durkin all alone puts up the shot, in and out, missed it. Rebound down to Verham. Nobody picked him up, and I think he likes those threes, and he was only about 6 feet from the basket and missed that one. Over to Davis. He missed the lay-in, however. Comes back down into the hands of Durkin. Over to Lure, all the way over to Wallace. Looking inside, back to Durkin. Over to Larson. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the game. Back to Wallace. Wallace makes a move, comes about to Durkin at the top. Patience on the offense. Durkin wanted the 3, but stepping up nicely was Mark Davis to put some defense up there and get a hand up. They'll bring the ball back out to Wallace. 2 minutes to go in the game. Back to Durkin, looked at the hoop, changed his mind, comes back out to Larson. Larson will back it back out. Krager puts some pressure on, goes to Wallace, far right-hand side. Over to Lure, over to Durkin. Looks inside, can't find anybody, takes a move, goes down the lane, into Payne, up and in. Payne gets the easy bucket out of it, and that's 2. Now it's a 3-point lead by the Petersburg Vikings. Glacier Bears have the basketball. Over to Davis. Davis comes back out to his brother Luke Davis. Back to Faberty. Faberty stops, wanted the shot, 2 double team, both hands up in the air. Back out to Luke Davis. Comes around, kicking the ball back and forth. Goes over to Mark Davis out at the top. 1:15 to go in the game. Back out to Krager. They go inside to Verham. Stops, back to Krager. Krager moves inside, can't do anything. Back to Verham. He's not going to shoot it. Back out to Davis. Over to Faberty. 1 minute to go in the basketball game. Screen is set. Almost stolen away. Faberty spins around. 3-pointer on the way. A little bit too strong. Rebound down to Luke Davis. Over to Krager. Krager gets the ball, comes back out to Faberty at the top. Comes across between the leg dribble. Loses control of it, gets it back. Over to Luke Davis. Luke out the side. 44 seconds to go. Come around, Davis. Going to be called for the travel. Wait a minute. I think Coach Fossman, let's see if they're going to give the timeout. Yes, they are going to give the timeout, as I think Coach Fossman realized there was some problems there. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it back to KFK Studios for 1 minute. The score is 48 for Petersburg, 45 for Haines. We'll be back in 1 minute. Welcome back to the Haines High Gymnasium. 35 seconds to go in the basketball game. That was a good save by Coach Fossman there as Faberty was on the floor with the basketball, and it would have been called for a travel, but Fossman was up yelling in the ear to call a timeout, and he got it. Back to Krager. Krager at the dribble, out at the top, comes around the side, back to Faberty. Long three on the way, going to be short. Rebound comes down to Durkin. Durkin kicks the ball back out to Skeek. Skeek goes over to Larson, back to Skeek. And now we're across the 10-second line. They go to Larson. He's surrounded, going to be whistled for the foul here. Okay, let's see what it's going to be here. The foul's on 31. That's going to be on Verham. That'll be his second personal foul. And now we're going to take a timeout off of it with 17.3 seconds. The ball will be inbound right here in front of the Petersburg bench. Okay, so now we'll see if it's going to be a full timeout or not. I think it's going to be the 30-second variety here as they're all standing up anyway. So anyway, they got the foul on there. Glacier Bears only have 2 team fouls, so if they want to foul, they can be aggressive as can be here because they're a long ways away from putting Petersburg into the 1-and-1 situation. Anyway, we'll just kind of see how it goes here. I guess they did decide it's going to be a full timeout. Looks like Gillum's coming into the ball game for the Glacier Bears here. But can ask for a better game. Faberty coming alive with 25 points. Durkin has 21 points and 8 points, 9 points by Larson, 8 points by Payne as Payne come alive. Scoring is pretty much spread out, but Carson Krager has the 7 points, 8 points by 7 points by Davis also in there. So Glacier Bears are out of that timeout first. 17.3 seconds. See what's going to happen here on the inbounds pass. The Glacier Bears have 1 timeout, or no timeouts. Petersburg has 1 timeout. Goes to Larson along the baseline. Back out to Durkin. Durkin with the dribble out at Skeek. Going to be a foul on it. 12.7 seconds. Going to be on Krager. He hasn't got any fouls tonight, so he can afford to give away a lot of them. Ball's going on the far side of the court. Petersburg leads 48-45. Looking. Now they get it back in. Now they get back over. Kicks it over to Skeek with 9 seconds over to Wallace. And now there's going to be another foul on it. And Verheim's going to foul with 7.3 seconds. So that's the third personal foul on Wesley. Durkin inbound right here in front of their bench. Looking, still can't find anybody. Finds Payne. Payne out the top, and now he's going to be fouled. So that's the 15 foul with 6.1 seconds. Fouls on 3-1. Okay, and we're going to inbound right in front of the bench here again. Durkin with the basketball, looking, gets it to Larson. He's going to be fouled right away. Fouls on 1-0, that'll be Krager. That's the 16th foul, 4.9 seconds to go now. Okay, looking, coming across, still can't get it in. They get it off to Skeek, spin around, back to Larson. Now there's going to be another foul on it with 1.9 seconds. And looks like Wesley, that was his 5th personal foul. He got right after it. Now we're going to the free throw line. Very important free throws. Looks like Strong is going to come off the bench for the Glacier Bears. Durkin at the free throw line for the Vikings. They lead 48-45. This one's on its way. Nope, not any good. Ball's bouncing to Faberty's hand. Long down court pass, and you're going to hear the buzzer in the background. We're going to finish this score with Petersburg 48, Haines 45. Petersburg coming away with a hard-fought win here. Glacier Bears making a game of it, however, as we go along. So Petersburg's going to take both games. Actually, Petersburg takes all the games up here in Haines this weekend. Petersburg will be heading for the ferry. I'll quickly run down a few things for you quick here.